Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining me today. This is Real and Raw with Rochelle. That is right. If you like this beautiful shit show we call life, you want to hear some crazy stories that I still can't believe that are true, that is my life, that hopefully will start a conversation between everybody. This is a lot of stuff nobody talks about. Welcome. If you like this, please do hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. If you don't, I don't give a shit. Thanks for tuning in anyway. Today I wanted to start off with some really raw shit that happened in the past couple months that I think is going to be a great topic. Hopefully you guys chime in. Please do comment or give me your thoughts, your ideas, if any of this has ever happened to you. Long time ago, actually 20 years ago, I was engaged to be married. I had met somebody on a blind date. Yes, folks, this is when blind dates existed. There was no social media platforms. I had no idea what this dude looked like. I worked with the wife, he worked with the husband. They both set us up on a blind date. He picked me up from work, and thus a blind date. We had an amazing blind date, actually, that didn't end. So our date went so incredibly well that from that moment on, him and I were inseparable. And what I mean by that is we never left each other from our first date. I actually went and bought new clothes, spent the night. No, we didn't sleep together. And I basically the next day grabbed a bag and pretty much never left my man's house. I can't say this guy because I was engaged to him. So 6 weeks will go by. It's a whirlwind romance. We are head over heels in love with each other, and he pops the question. Now, at this time, I am young, of course. So I am 18 at this particular time. And so what ended up happening is I, of course, said yes. He was 5 years older than me. I, of course, said yes, and we started planning a wedding. That's right, folks. We had the Sears engagement photo. We'll just skip to the part that actually matters. We were about to get married. Everything was going great until I picked up the phone and there was a lovely woman on the other end of the phone stating that she was with my man and my man had given her the necklace that I had given him for his birthday. Ironic. So therefore, I called off the wedding. I did not marry him. And I did end up moving to Grand Prairie with him. Hopefully that our time up there would bring us back together. We could work through these things. Very optimistic because of the connection that we both had. Very in love. And so that, of course, didn't go so well as he got injured really, really badly. And we were stuck up there on WCB because of this injury. So life went in the shitter real fucking quick, let me tell you. Not only am I living with somebody who I was supposed to marry, who then cheated on me, who now is injured, and I am forced to take care of him because he had a broken arm, a broken leg, and it was bad. So this is a guy who couldn't even use crutches to go pee. It was a very tumultuous situation. We were broke and losing everything at that point in time. He needed full-time care. Up north really didn't have many positions for women unless you wanted to be a stripper, which is something I was not going to be doing. So it kind of threw a lot of wrenches in our plans. Anyway, fast forward 8 months after that, we ended up moving back out of the north and into a more civilized area. And from there, we both parted ways, and that was the end of that. I went on to a different man who I then married and had children with. 20 years goes by. Haven't thought, wondered, given a second opinion about this guy since I left him 20 years ago. Fast forward to today. I get a message on a dating website because I am single, and I get a message on a dating website that says, hey, it's so-and-so. And of course, my first response was because I know I would have never reached out to that person if the tables were turned. I then, of course, said, this is a trip. So exchange phone numbers and then start talking. And this, of course, went over the course of 3 weeks, just texting each other back and forth, pretty much kind of just catching up on times of what's gone on in the last 20 years and where we were in life and what we were doing, which was all fine and good. So he was out of town during those 3 weeks. So we decided that when he was back in town that we would go and meet up for coffee. I then went, and of course I've known this dude. I was about to marry this guy. So I was pretty sure I could handle myself in any situation. So I then went over to his house to go have a coffee. It's really kind of cool to just catch up. And then this is where a weirdness sets in. So in the midst of this, I was told that for the last 20 years, all he's done is think about me, and that our connection and what we had is just not found. And it is one of their biggest regrets, and that they've thought about me for the last 20 years. So much so that my blanket from 20 years ago, my favorite blanket when we were in a relationship together, he still has it. It looks brand new, like the day I bought it. I'll go in creepy. He still has a porn we made. That's great to know. 20 years old. And he still has that. And then on top of that, still has things like my underwear. So a little taken aback by those things. Like, I'm not making this shit up. And then he is like, we should sleep together. And I'm like, what? Like, not happening. I turned down wholeheartedly, as well as even kind of the whole premise of this was just a little weird. Like, it was getting weird. Ketchup was great. This is fucking weird. Leave, nothing happens. I'm kind of like, what the fuck just happened? Really, as I'm driving away. And then the next day he's like, this like really fucked me up. Like, when you left, I was crying, and it just really messed me up. And like, where do you want to go from here? And I'm like, what? Where do I want to go from here? I was like, you should probably FaceTime me when you get home from work. So this is the moment when total and pure clarity hits you, and you realize, as a woman, as a man, whatever, how much you have grown in life. FaceTimes me, and we're talking, and I was like, well, what do you expect out of this? Like, it's not fate and it's not destiny, because I've not given you a thought in the last 20 years or have ever thought that I would ever want to reconcile with someone who had everything in the palm of their hands, who was the one who proposed, was the one who wanted all of it, and then backed out, cheated on me. And I still took care of you, and you still couldn't just be honest and tell me the truth. I voiced my opinions. I've grown. I'm a mom, and I ain't taking shit no more. Like, I'm very well versed in being able to say how I felt in regards to this situation. So I then decided to ask him why he thought it was necessary, because he knows my name and my family, why he would need to reach out to me on a dating site when you are still married. Douchebag, the exact same thing that you did to me, you are now doing to your current wife. So I would go home and try to work on whatever you need to work on, because there is no way that this shit that happened 20 years ago, fast forward 20 years, has even changed. I'm like, I am such a different person and you are not. So I want to know from anybody out there, has this shit happened to you? Has your ex come back into your life? I know I've heard so many of these stories because of COVID. Did you take them back? Would you ever take your ex back? Because I think COVID has really fucked with everybody's minds. They're stuck thinking, and instead of thinking about how to better their lives. They're thinking about who's going to better their life. Thanks for joining us today, guys. Gotta go.